Welcome. In the last video, we examined the concept of pools and the steps for integrating them to create a test in Blackboard. A quick recap of the steps for using the pools. The first one is that we download the item pool for Blackboard from the publisher's site. At that point, we need to make sure that we are downloading this pool which is specifically for Blackboard. Next, we import that pool into the course. Then we set up the test using this pool. And then we must review and take the test in the student preview mode. Using pools may appear a bit confusing at first. So let us quickly review the options that you will have in Blackboard. When setting up a test in Blackboard, we will use the option for reuse questions instead of create question. With reuse question, we will have three options. Let us see how these are different from each other. First, the create question set. This option allows us to create a set of questions. We will select the questions that will go into this set using various criteria such as the pool, the topic, the difficulty level, and so on. The next option is create random block. This option allows us to create a block of questions based on only two criteria, the pool and the question type. For both of these options, we will be able to specify how many randomly selected questions are to be presented to the students and also the point value for the questions. Just keep in mind that for both these options, the point value is going to be the same for all the questions. Finally, the find questions option. Here, we can select specific questions individually from the question pool. And then once they are in the test, we can edit them like you would any other question. Let us now set up a test in Blackboard using a test pool from a publisher. The first step is to locate the test bank and download it. So here I am on the publisher's website and I see the Blackboard Learning System test bank. So I'm going to click on it and download it to my computer. Once the test pool has been downloaded, I now need to import it into my course. In order to do that, I click on Course Tools and then select Test, Surveys and Pools. And now click on Pools. So at this point, I click on Import Pool, browse my computer, find the pool that has been downloaded and click on Open. Next, click on Submit. At this stage, we want to make sure that the pool has been imported. And for that, we wait to see the success message. And this is the message that we are looking for, that the operation import has been completed. And once I see that message, I click on OK. As you can see, we have imported 9 pools, each associated with the chapter from the textbook. Now we need to set up the test. And to do that, I click on Test, Surveys and Pools and select Tests. And here we will select Build Test. Now at this point, since this is a demo test, I'm going to go ahead and just put the demo as the name. Now in the previous exercise when we created a test, we had used the Create Question option and selected the type of question that we want to set up. Now that we are using the pool, we are going to select one of these three options from the Reuse Question option. Let us start with the Create Question set. The pools for the 9 chapters are displayed here. And then below that, there are a few more options. You can see the type of question and you can select any of them. In addition to that, if the publisher has provided for it, You can also select the questions that meet certain criteria of the level of difficulty, the keywords, and so on. In the pool that I have imported, none of these criteria are available. So let us move on and select the specific pool. So if I select chapter 1, the items from chapter 1 are displayed here. I can further shortlist by selecting the type of question from here. For example, I can say I only want multiple choice questions. At this point, I can select all of them, or I can select specific questions that will be included in the set. And once I have selected all the questions that I want to include, I click on Submit. I get to see a question set. I see that I have selected 5 questions. If I click here, I can select how many of these questions will be randomly selected and displayed to the student. So let us suppose we select 2. The other thing that needs to be edited here is the points per question. So since I have selected 2 questions, the total points for this question set is 20. So instead of 10, if I were to select 5, the total points here are 10. Now let's examine create random block. Now here you will notice that you have only 2 options. You can select which pool and you can select which question type. None of the other options that were available with create question set option are available. So here again, let us select chapter 1 and then let's select multiple choice. Now as you can see, I do not have the option of selecting which question is included. So all I can do is I can select the pool and the question type and then click Submit. Now I have selected 24 questions. So here again, I can choose how many of these 24 questions will be randomly selected and presented to the students. So say 5. Again, the same process here. If for each of these questions I want the point value to be 5, I select that, click Submit. And now I have a random block of questions with 25 points because each question is worth 5 points. Finally, let's look at find questions. Now here I have 2 options. I can copy the selected questions or I can link to the original questions. If I copy the selected questions, I can make changes to those questions in the test, but those changes will not be reflected in the original pool. However, if I link to the original questions, any changes that I made in the test will also make changes in the pool of questions. So for right now, I'm going to select copy and click on continue. Now once again, select one chapter. I can also select the question type, say for example, multiple choice. And now I can select specific questions that will be included in the test. So I click Submit. Those 3 questions are showing up here. And at this point, I can go here and I can edit those questions and make changes to them. I can also go in and individually change the point value for these questions. And once we have it set up, I can go back to the test page. And at this point, this test is not deployed. So the next step is to go into the weekly content. And I'm going to just deploy that test here since it is for the purpose of a demo. So I go there, select demo, select submit, and then I can choose any of these options. But for right now, I'm not going to include this in the grade center. I'm also going to make the test available to the students so that I can preview it. And now click on the student preview option, weekly content, click on demo, and then you would go through and take the test to make sure that it is functioning the way you were expecting it to function.